How is everyone doing? I'm back at it again. Hey, listen, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this space, if you're new to my face, welcome. I'm excited that you're here joining me today. I am Dr. Tam, your empowerment coach, and I am about all things containing or pertaining to her. Her stands for healing, empowerment, and restoration because in this space, that's exactly what we do. We actually talk about those things that are going to help to heal us, those things that are actually going to help to empower us, and of course, those things that are going to help to restore us. And so I'm excited to be back with you again today. I'm continuing my commitment to myself. I continue to show up for myself. I encourage you to show up to yourself. Y'all, I keep looking out because it's a little squirrel right here playing in front of my window. So focus, get back on track, squirrel. But anyway, just having a little fun. I hope y'all are doing good today. Today is an absolutely gorgeous day, and I'm glad to have this opportunity to come back and to share just a couple more things with you. So today, as I was saying, I'm committing myself to going live every single day in the month of October. And so I'm showing up here again and I'm constantly dropping and giving you gems. So if you are new here, I welcome you back. If you have been here before, I welcome you back. I am glad that you are here. Continue to come and get the knowledge. Continue to come and get the gems, okay? Before we get started though, I'm going to ask you to do this. I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to this channel because I know that this is a channel that is going to bless you. This is one of those places where you can literally come and get what you need, right? It's kind of like a medicine cabinet, right? You don't have a headache right now, but you know that just in case you do have a headache, if something pops up, you know exactly where to go find the Tylenol, okay? Or whatever it is that you take for your headaches. So that's what this space is. This is a place where you can come, you can gain new knowledge and understanding and tips and tools and strategies that's going to help you to heal, to be empowered, and to restore you. So I'm excited to be sharing with you again today. So welcome back. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I don't wanna be before you too long because we're busy, I get it. But I definitely wanted to share these, a couple things with you. I did a short earlier this morning and it was talking about like who you are not. Those experiences that we often have in life, those periods of time where you may felt as though you were rejected. There have been times where you felt like you were just abandoned. They just left me. They gave up on me. There were times, y'all, when you were violated. Let me share something with you. You are none of those. Those experiences are not you. Those things that happened to you, they actually happened for you. Now you may be a little bit confused. You're like, wait a minute, that was hard. That was painful. I suffered during that time. And I get it because I have been there in those same places. I get it. And you know what? It is hard. It's hard going through those experiences. It's hard carrying that pain when you feel like you're all alone. I get it. I understand it. But I'm sharing with you today that everything that you have gone through, everything that has happened to you, it was actually for you. So what do you do when you're trying to put all the pieces back together? What do you do when you feel like you are so broken and all these different things have happened to you and you are literally scattered across the floor right now? I don't know how to get up. It's hard to get up. Well, first of all, let me share with you, you can get up and you will get up. You have to get up because you are going to do that for you. You have been called. There is a great purpose on your life right now. We can't stay down, y'all. We gotta get back up. And I'm gonna share with you today a couple of things that I know that are going to help you to start picking up the pieces. I want you to think about a puzzle, okay? Think about a puzzle. Puzzle comes in 1,000 little bitty pieces, right? But on the outside of the box, you see a picture. That picture is a perfect picture. and you realize that every single one of those puzzle pieces, those 1,000 puzzle pieces that you're looking at on that table in front of you, you put all those things together and it makes that perfect, pretty picture. That's where you are right now. You're in 1,000,001 pieces, all scattered across the floor. That's where I was. Literally, all my things were scattered across the floor. And I found myself in a place where I was actually crying over all of my things because I felt as though my things, I took on that identity. And I was scattered across the floor. I felt worthless. I felt that I wasn't good enough. I felt like this is the bottom of the bottom. How in the world can you tell me that I will eventually become that pretty puzzle picture on that box? It's possible. It's possible for you. You can pick up all the pieces. You can put all 1,000,001 pieces back together. I'm going to share with you. Have you ever noticed how some of the puzzle pieces, they have just a few more curves and corners than straight edges? Now, some of them can fit perfect. Like you can very easily identify the edges of the puzzle, right? It's going to be a top, right? It's going to be one going down on the side, or it's going to be an edge at the bottom and an edge along the side. Okay, so you know that's part of the outside. Those are going to be the corners, right? And then there are those pieces that have that one whole side that's all straight. Well, you know those are the pieces that's going to go on the edges. But then when you start looking into the middle part, oh, it's a little bit more confusing there. Because in the middle, you realize that there are more corners and curves than there are straight edges. So it's a little bit more difficult to put those pieces together. It's easier to identify the straight edges. You know where those are going to go. But it's those pieces in the middle. How, when you are at the bottom, when you are in the middle of your broken hour, and when you are scattered across the floor, how do you actually start putting those pieces back together? Well, I'm going to share with you. It's possible that you can pick up one piece at a time and start putting those pieces back together. You pick up one piece, you go get another piece. If it doesn't fit, you put it down. You go look for another piece that's going to fit perfectly into place. And if anyone has ever sat there and put a puzzle piece together, put a whole puzzle together, you realize that it's going to take some time. It does take time. Healing is not an overnight fix. It's going to take some time to pick up the pieces and put the pieces back together. But you can put the pieces back together. Have you ever realized that when you are sitting there by yourself and you're trying to put all the pieces back together, it's a little frustrating, isn't it? Have y'all ever noticed that before? It's a little frustrating. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I used to actually like putting puzzle pieces together until I just became too frustrated and would just totally give up. But that's what we cannot do. But if you were putting the piece together or trying to sit there and put that puzzle together, and oh, your brother came in the room or your sister came in the room or mama done sat down at the table and she's like, oh, baby, I'll help you. Have you noticed how you tend to work a little faster when you got somebody in there with you, helping you to put the puzzle pieces together? Y'all, we cannot do this by ourselves. We cannot become our best selves by ourselves. It is important to have the right people to come along. Not just anybody can do it, because you don't want two frustrated people What you don't want is two frustrated people sitting there at that table trying to put that puzzle back together. That puzzle not gonna make it. So you have to have the right people with the right sight, the right people who can look at that pretty puzzle picture on that box and be like, okay, I see that piece right there. Oh, this is right. Let's get okay, this one. You gotta have somebody with that eye who can help you to build that picture. They're gonna help you put all the pieces back together to build that picture. So you have to have the right person there. And having the right people, I'm getting ahead of myself, but having the right people, y'all, it's gonna save a whole lot of time and frustration. You're gonna save yourself some time and you are going to save yourself some frustration. So get the right people, okay? But today I want to share with you 3 points, 3 tips, 3 strategies that are going to help you to pick up the pieces. And oh, don't I know how hard and challenging it is. Because you in a million pieces, you done cried it all out. You feel like you can't go any further. You feel like you don't have the strength to do it. You feel like this is it. I can't do no more. I can't get up anymore. But you can. You have to and you will, because there is a purpose on your life. You are here for a reason. There is something that you are supposed to be doing. And I'm going to tell you, all of those pieces to that puzzle, it may not look like it right now, but all those puzzle pieces are going to fit together to make that perfect picture. And you putting those pieces back together, it's a part of that picture. That picture is your purpose. That's where you're trying to get to, okay? That's where you're trying to get to. So, tip number 1 to help you to pick up the pieces so that you can continue moving forward to fulfilling your purpose, okay? Tip number 1, block off some time. What in the world does she mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Block off some time, y'all. When we are at that place and we are scattered into 1,000,001 pieces all across the floor, guess what's happening? Life is still happening. Life does not stop because we have a broken heart. Life does not stop because your feelings have been hurt. Life does not stop because you feel rejected. Life does not stop because you feel like you have been abandoned. Life does not stop. It is going to continue. And that life, it includes you. You still got to get up. You still got to go to work. You got to take care of the kids. You still have to take care of the family. Whatever those responsibilities, they don't stop. Just because your heart is broken into 1,000,000 pieces, we still have to continue. So when I'm sharing with you to block time to help you to put the pieces back together, you have all of these responsibilities that you are still responsible for. But where is there some time where I can start putting in the work to put my pieces back together? When is it that I have time? Because I know I can't do this by myself. Yes, I have the right people. I have my community with me. But where is it some time where I can go before my Father? Where is it some time where I can actually plug in daily prayer? Where is some time where I can devote to Bible study? And I'm not talking about just going to like an actual Bible study every day. That's Bible study. You studying the Word of God every single day. Where is it that you can actually plug some of those times in? Where is it where you can plug in the time to sit down and just journal, reflect on your day, to pour your feelings out, to get all of that out? That's what I mean by blocking time. So when you block time, you look at life. What do I have going on over here? And these are the things I know that's going to help me. I know it's going to help me if I am spending time and going before my Father, if I'm spending time in daily prayer, if I'm communing with God, if I'm rebuilding my relationship with Him, if I'm able to just spend that time in His presence and pour out my heart to Him, because the Word does tells us that He is there, He is near to the brokenhearted, and He binds our wounds. Well, right now, I'm trying to put these pieces back together. So as I'm trying to put the pieces back together, where do we need to be if our hearts are broken? That's in His presence. Did y'all know that? That's in His presence. But you got all these things over here. Something might just have to go. Some things might have to shift around. It is important that when we are trying to put the pieces back together, that we block time in order to spend time with God. Daily prayer, daily Bible study, daily journaling and reflecting, getting in His presence. His Word reminds us that He will strengthen us, that He will help us if we just go before Him, if we just cry out to Him. Remember, we're not doing this on our own, okay? So putting the pieces back together, an important piece is us to actually devote time to rebuilding our relationship with God, okay? Tip number two, revisit the vision. Y'all, remember before, just a moment ago, I shared with you, when you're trying to put that puzzle together, you're constantly looking at the outside of that box. Okay, that's that. Okay, wait a minute now. Now, that's that. You're constantly looking at the pieces. You have to revisit the vision often. When you are putting your pieces back together, and when you down on that floor and you have finally come to your senses, you know what? I got to get up from here. I don't belong here. This is not my place right here. I got to get up from this place. There is work that I have to do. Look at your vision. What life is it that you want for yourself? Where do you see yourself being? What is your purpose? What has God called you to do in life? We have to revisit the vision. So that's tip number 2. When we are trying to pick up the pieces and put our lives back together after being scattered, you got to revisit the vision. Keep your eyes on the prize. Keep your eye on the prize. That's that vision. That's that perfect picture that's on the outside of that puzzle box. While you putting them pieces together, you got to keep your eye on that picture. Constantly look, okay, this is what I'm supposed to look like, okay. And you pick up that piece and you put it together. Okay, that goes constantly. So when I'm saying constantly, that's every day. If you can, that's every day. I share with the ladies in my community. I share with them the importance of like building a vision board. You have to have a vision. The word reminds us to write the vision and make it plain. Write it out. Put it on a poster board, somewhere where you can see it, somewhere where you can actually see it often. Put some pictures on there. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, right? Put some pictures on there. Map out the vision, what it's supposed to look like. What is your purpose? Put that in pictures on your vision board. And you are going to visit that. You're going to revisit that often. So as you're putting the pieces back together, and if something don't quite fit, you're going to look back up. Oh, no, that don't go there. And you're going to put it down, and you're going to pick up the right piece. Because every piece has its place. Every piece has its place in order to make that perfect picture that's on that box. That picture, that's your purpose. That's ultimately your vision for life. where you're trying to get to. And tip number 3, I said I wasn't going to be long, y'all. But tip number 3, community. I told you at the very top, you got to have the right people with you. You have to have someone, when you are sitting at that table and you got all those pieces out there in front of you and you're trying to put your puzzle back together, it is so much easier when you have somebody who can come along with you. It's like, oh, I like doing this. Oh, or I can help you. Oh, okay, let's sort our pieces. And you're like, wait, wait, what? What are you doing? They got that eye, y'all. Do y'all know people like that? Do you know people who literally come along, you've been frustrated, you sitting there trying to put something together, and they come back and like, boop, 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 and it's done. And be like, now I done wasted 2 hours sitting here trying to put something together. But that's the importance of having the right people. Having the right people around you, the people who can literally see that vision. They too can look over at your vision board. They can look at that pretty, perfect picture on the outside of that puzzle box, and they can help you to determine where your pieces actually go. So community, I'm not talking about them one who will come over and try to actually take your pieces and be like, no, I don't know what happened to it. You don't need them around you. And even if they're the ones who pull up to the table and just sit there and watching you do all the work, you don't need them either. You need the people who are actually going to get in there and do the work with you, because they see the vision as well. They see the calling on your life. They see the importance and the purpose of your life. They see what you're supposed to be doing, and they like, you know what? I'm ready. Let's ride. We finna put all these pieces back together. We finna build that picture, that vision. We are about to fulfill the purpose for your life, because we were not created, y'all, to do life on our own. We're just not. We're not created to do life on our own. We were created to be in communion with others, partnerships and communities. So it is so important to have the right people around you when you are trying to put all the pieces back together. And you will do it. I know you can do it. You have the strength within you. Everything that you need is already inside of you. When you start with devoting more time and understanding who you are, and we can only discover that through the Word of God, y'all. But when you start making those moves, watch how everything else moves. Watch. And you're going to come back, you're like, you know what? You were right. I see the difference. I'm telling you. So that's why we started with that. 3 tips to help you put yourself back together after you have been broken into 1,000,001 pieces. You can put that vision together. You will fulfill your purpose. Tip number 1, block time. Tip number 2, revisit the vision often. Tip number 3, the right community. Having the right people around you to help you to put it all back together. All right? I'm telling you, if you're able to, when you are able to start walking out these steps, taking these tips a little bit at a time, watch how things begin to change. It changes everything. When you begin to change, because you are that one thing that will change everything. When you begin to change, you watch everything else change around you. It is possible for you to put all the pieces back together. It is possible for you to get up off that floor. It is possible because you have purpose. All right? Hey, y'all, I am Dr. Tam. I am your empowerment coach. Listen, if you are in a place right now where that's you feel like you are in 1,000,001 pieces, let me share this with you. I have a community that I have helped to build, a community of strong-minded Christian women who are literally putting the work in to put their pieces back together, because we realize, y'all, that we have a purpose in this life to fulfill. Within my community, we are actually coming together. We're deciding who we want to be. What is that going to look like? We are developing our goals together. We are walking the steps out to actually accomplish our goals together. We are maintaining who it is that we want to be. And most importantly, we are strengthening our relationship with God, because we realize that we cannot do any of this without Him. If that sounds like a place where you want to be, I am actually going to add a link to this post, to this live. I'm gonna drop a link. You click on that link, go ahead and schedule a clarity call with me. I'll tell you even more about it, and come on in, because I'm ready. We welcome you with open arms. I'm telling you, this is the place where you want to be. If you are ready to start putting the pieces back together, because you realize that there is a purpose, there is a calling on your life, this is the community for you. All right. I am Dr. Tam. I am your empowerment coach, and I cannot wait to see you inside of the community. I'll check in with y'all later.